Good morning. Who's ready to do some makeup? Okay, here's the deal. If you have already done your skincare routine, which I have, 4 steps, ideal regimen, cleanse, prep, treat, protect, and you're doing your makeup pretty soon after doing that, you can feel like you could drop these 2 steps out. But if you have one, you don't have an AM skincare routine, which call me, or it's been a lot of time has passed. For me, it's been about 2 hours. Come in with a couple products here to get your skin prepped so that it's going to get your skin looking its best so that the makeup can look its best on it. The first product here is, it's already my second step in my normal routine in the morning, but this is something great to have on hand no matter what your skin type is prior to doing makeup. This is an essence. It's nutrient boosted. It's full of anti-aging benefits from our Countertime line, infused with bakuchiol, which is a safer swap to retinol. And it's just going to make your skin be its best prior to makeup. It's like a facial in a bottle, and I would really recommend it. So I'm gonna do that right now. You shake like about a, nickel size amount into your hand. You don't need a lot. See how it's a milky liquid. And then just with both palms, press it into your skin. Oh my gosh. When I talk to my clients about this product, I'm just like, get this product. Don't even think about it. Don't even overthink it. Just get it. Get it down onto your neck, onto your chest. I'm having a moment. Sorry. And then that second step prior to getting into your makeup, I think you can make the choice here based on 2 things. Feel of product. Do you like a serum or do you like an oil more? And then if you like hyaluronic acid as a priority or do you like vitamin C as a priority? That's how I would kind of like look at these 2 products as your step right before you're getting into complexion. This is our Glow First Priming Serum and this is our All Bright Brightening Oil. So because I've already done my vitamin C within my skincare routine this morning, I'm going to choose to go with the Glow First Priming Serum. And I love to put a little bit of this Ilia liquid highlight into the dollop of the serum. And it just really starts the luminosity of the base of my skin prior to putting on the complexion product. So it's going to come through. Okay, this is my pump and a half of the Beautycounter Glow First Priming Serum. And then this is the Ilia, it's in Nova. And I don't use a ton, just, about a half a pump, not even. And that's the 2 products there. I'm going to mix them together. And I'm going to start applying this onto my face and then rub it in. All right, we're gonna let that sit and do its thing. Let me stop right here too to say that those 2 steps, like if you're not that into makeup or you love a just fresh face, complexion focused look, I feel good right now. Like I could walk away right now. So don't feel like you need to follow my next steps for this makeup look. Glowy, healthy, ready to do my day. Feel good with that too. One last prep step is always get your lips hydrated for whatever lip look you're gonna land on later. So I'm gonna take from our holiday set of this trio of hyaluronic lip balms. I'm gonna use this beige one I really love. It's called Daze and it has a scent of coconut. This one is completely clear. It's called Nada. It has a peppermint scent. And this one's called Crush. It has a little bit of a pink payoff. And it has a citrus scent. So I'm just gonna go in here with Daze and apply to my lip. I like the uniqueness of the shape of these. They kind of like follow your lip shape really easily. I love that on its own. So I'm just gonna wear that, get my lips going to start kind of accepting that, smoothing it out, melting in. And then once we get to our lip look later, we will wipe it off. Okay, we're gonna start with eyes today. So I'm going to prep my lids with a little bit of concealer and set it with a little bit of mattifying powder. I just want this to be able to help the shadows that we're going to use from the brand new holiday palette to really pop off the eye, lasts the whole day. And it also is just really nice to get your lids to be neutralized to the color of the same shade, tone, I should say, as your skin. Because I know, for me anyway, I have very veiny lids and the skin around our eye, both under and on our lids, is very thin. So that's not abnormal to see veins popping through, and doing this concealer step can really help. You could just sit here and do and move forward this way especially if you're using cream shadows, but because I'm using powder shadows and I don't want them to stick in a patchy way, I'm going to set this really quick with just a brush and so if you're using cream shadows, you could just do this step and move forward. because I'm using powder shadows and I don't want them to stick in a patchy way, I'm going to set the concealer with some mattifying powder. So I'm just taking some from the top of the lid. Make sure to come back in with pad of your finger, the warmth of your finger pad, to get any concealer out of any fine lines first. And then I'm just going to swipe this over the lid and up into the brow bone area as well. All right, so the eye look is going to be centered around this new holiday palette from Beautycounter. I love the size of it. It's called the Essentials Eye Palette, and it's got 5 really, really easy to use neutrals. Different types of finishes on these 5 too. So you've got 2 matte shades, which I love that there's a mix up here. Pashmina is more of a beige matte. This is Parfait, and it's a light pink matte. Then you've got 2 that are more of a satin finish. This is called Silhouette, and it's a kind of like taupey gray. This one's more of a medium tone brown called Kona. And then this one in the middle is called Rosé, and it's kind of a topper, bit of a shimmer. I love to concentrate those types of shades like right on like the center of your eyeball to bring them forward, and it makes your eyes look big and open and ready. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with this matte shade of Pashmina with, this is Beautycounter's all over brush. I don't know that we even have these in stock anymore, but something that's like this. It's got a bit of a flat edge to be able to place down the product. So I'm loading it up. And then you can always tap this stuff off, but we are also doing eyes first so that if there is any fallout, I can clean that up easily and then go in with my skin products, my complexion products. So I'm going to come in and I'm really just going to start building this up on the lid, swiping it across, patting it in. I like to come a little bit above my crease line here, right a little bit up onto the brow bone, and it will be blended out here at the end. So you can already see just putting one quick swipe of that really just neutralizes the lid, and you can easily build this up. And I think this is a shade that will look universally amazing on fair skin tones all the way to deep. I started to make a little bit of a shape here because I went a little bit above my crease, and I can even, with the edge of this kind of brush, kind of just keep that line clean there from the outer corner up. Okay, so I've done the other eye, and then one other tip too is with this type of a shade, you can bring this in a little bit here, and it's gonna help to kind of contour your nose, especially if you feel like you want to try to thin this area out. Doing this kind of creates that contoured shadow right here, and it's going to recede. Darker colors recede, lighter colors pop out, and that's the whole idea behind contouring and highlighting. So you can kind of do that too with this shade. Okay, after we get through more of this look, I'll be coming back in with some of these shades for under here to smoke out the lower lash line as well. So what I have in mind for cheek and lip, I'm gonna stick with the browns here today. Potentially gonna bring in this pink at a later time. But let me come into Kona here. This is the one that's got a bit of a satin finish. I have a smaller brush now, and the smaller the brush, the more control you're gonna have over where you're placing it. So there's also a smaller flat brush. So I'm going to start to build this up here at the lash line. So this is almost going to act like an eyeliner, but it'll be softer because it's a shadow. And my ultimate goal is to get this shade up to that, right where my crease ends right there, down to the outer corner, and then straight across the fold there. Okay, so we built up a pretty strong wing. I'm not sure it's gonna end that way, but let's go do the other eye. All right, so I played with these a little bit off camera because that's important to know. Like, to get it right the first time, I never do anyway. I'm sure that some people do, makeup artists, like boom, 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 done. But I don't. So it takes some time. Give yourself the room to not be like, this is awful, need to go take it off, and just play with it for a little bit. You can always clean up when we get to the complexion section of the look, the complexion section, with your concealer. And you can also always take, like I said, get a clean brush that's got a flat edge like this and a flat, but it has a tip. And get some like setting spray or things like that to clean up the edges. So I'm gonna leave that as is now with the brown. And I'm going to just do a little bit of the Rosé right here along the lash line. That's going to help open up your eye, especially I have smaller eyes. So lighter shades at the lash line help to open it up. Concentrate the deep on the outside, so it's going to pull. And then this lighter topper kind of just washed with my finger in the middle, and that helped to diffuse that hard edge of where the brown started. Let's do that over here. So pretty. Okay, we're gonna do two last things here with the eye. Come back into Pashmina with your brush you were using that on. This is more of like a transition shade because it is the shade that is the most neutral. And I like to just kind of go over where I did some of that deeper brown. And I'm just going to start lifting towards the brow bone and start to soften that edge right there. And then if you have, so it's out of this palette now, but if you have any palettes, this is an old holiday palette, anything that's like a bright highlight like that, I'm going to kind of just get the product out of this brush and use the same brush here. I'm going into Lace if you guys have this palette from a few years back. And I'm just going to use that right there at the brow bone. And then I also like to take a shade like this and pop it right there in the inner corner. Okay. Trust the process. Let's move on. As far as cleanup goes, you can use your fingers, you can use a tissue, if you have like an actual makeup like towel. I'm gonna take one of these foam, disposable complexion sponges that I have. I'm just going to spray, this is PYT's setting spray, just to get it a little bit dampened. And I can use this edge that this has, and I can just come under here because there's no complexion products yet. We'd only done some prep steps, and I'm going to pick up anything that fell. I'm also going to help that edge right there. All right, y'all, let me speed this up and I'm going to step you through the Complexion Base. So pay no mind to me speaking because I thought I was going to share this as a talking video, but it just got pretty lengthy. So what I'm doing here is putting on Beautycounter Skin Twin in medium 320, and I am blending that out with a dampened beauty blender. I'll go back in for another layer just to up the coverage, but you can kind of do whatever you like there. Next, I'm going in with Beautycounter's Creamy Concealer in medium 1.5, and then I'm using light 2 underneath my eyes. I like to use a shade that matches my skin tone for the coverage around my face, for acne scarring, for red spots, dark spots, and I like to use that lighter concealer shade underneath my eyes, along the bridge of my nose, my chin, my cupid's bow for some brightening. Then you quickly saw me do my brows. I used the Lawless pencil in oak to fill in my brows, and then I'm using Beautycounter's brow gel in medium for some grooming and to help them stay lifted all day. Now I'm going to blend out my concealer. I like to first use my fingers for the warmth that brings to really start the blending process. And then I really like to come in with tools, and these two brushes are both from Sephora. The number 71 is the smaller one, and the number 47 is the larger one. They're really great for blending out foundation and concealer so that it stays in the place that you placed it. Then I'm going to go in with a darker shade of the Beautycounter concealer to do a slight kind of contour. This shade is dark 1. It's a little too warm to be a true contour, but I'm placing it higher on my cheekbone to show a lifting of my cheekbone to create a shadow. And then I'm going to blend that out with a dampened beauty blender. Next up in this sped up video, I'm going to be doing some powder bronzer. So I'm going to take Make Beauty's Skin Mimetic Micro Suede Bronzer in Aura, and I'm just using a fluffy fan brush to place it on the areas where the sun would naturally hit and bring warmth. So kind of like that forward 3 and backward 3 shape on your face. Next, we're going to go in and curl our lashes because I never go without curling lashes, and I advise you not to as well. And then I'm going to take our Beautycounter Think Big mascara. It is also available in a mini format from one of our holiday sets, is one of the things I showed in that pink box. I'm going to apply about 2 layers on each side, and you're really going to see lift. You're going to see volumizing and lengthening with this. You'll note too that I only put mascara on my upper lash line. I really rarely put it on my lower lash line because with the shape of my eyes, it really closes them off and makes them look a bit smaller. All right, it's time to finish this look in real time. Let's set our under eye, do some cheek, and finish with some lip. Okay, so for setting your under eye, I like to use our mattifying powder, and you can use the sponge that you had used for your foundation that's still, dampened, or a fluffy brush is something that I really like. So I will, the product's in the top, tap it off so it's not too much. Come in here too. Again, we did this when we set our lid concealer, and just buff out anything that might be sitting in there. And this is going to help blur your under eye area. It's going to help set the cream product that you used in your concealer and let it stay there all day. I like to come on the side of my nose there too, up that line where the shadows were. And then I need personally T-zone right here, not too high, down. Okay, so for this blush look, you might have thought I was going to use the new cream blush from the holiday line. It's the Nectar shade, which I love, and I'll be doing more demos with that. But I'm going to use Truffle because it is tried and true. And I think it works really well with, just noticing that it does not match that very well, the browns of my shadow. So come in here, I'm going to warm the product up a little bit. I'm just going to tap very light amount right there, very light amount right here. And there's still some on my hand, so try not to get it onto my brush. This is a Real Techniques brush, Filtered Cheek. I like that it's a dual, what's that called? Dual bristle, where there's some longer bristles and some shorter bristles. So really light hand, you can kind of pounce, and with a really light hand, because you don't want to remove the foundation below. Okay, I'll come over here, do the same thing. And then you can, anything that was excess on your fingers, I always build up my blush. I like a blush moment. Okay, and then feel free to go back into the pan because you've warmed it up. It's going to pick up more uniformly. Bring it up here a little bit. We are almost done then. Last steps are lip. So first we're gonna actually take our brow pencil that I used, this is Lawless, just to line a little bit outside. Okay, final two steps. Remember that Going Places kit? Here is the Solar Lid Glow, and this is Lotus Shimmer Beyond Gloss, and we're gonna use those on our lips. So first I'm gonna tap right there, only in the center. Hold, wait. So the beige notes in that, it's goldish too, but it has some beige. Gives a really nice base to keep it in like the brown family while you work with this pink, more pink gloss. Okay, I'm coming in with just a little bit more right here. When you concentrate gloss right there in the center, it's the whole idea of like a highlight again, that the shininess brings your lip forward, makes your lips look a little more plump. Okay, and then the last step here, come back in with your Ilia highlight, liquid highlight, put a little bit down on your hand. I like to spread it out a bit. That's a lot, and you don't want it to be so obvious that you are putting a streak of a highlight shade, right? So I like to kind of diffuse it a little bit with some setting spray. It makes it be more of a liquidy highlight. And then come in with your blender. So you're getting some setting action there. You're getting some highlight. All right. And that is the look.